Welcome back to Cosmic Cassie. Water signs, this is going to be your monthly reading from the fourth week of March. Oh my gosh, the fourth week of February into the fourth week of March. So, we are going to start off by just pulling some time cards for you guys. So if you have anything that you're wanting to know a time frame on, when is it happening, when is it ending, when will it change, these are going to be able to help you guys out a little bit here, okay? And then we will get into each reading. So each reading will start off with those time cards. We are going to start with Pisces. So, what timing things do Pisces need to be aware of? What does Pisces need to know? I have these upside down. In divine timing. First one out there. What does Pisces need to know about timing? And then we have two more. We have in progress now and in January. So Pisces, I will say that this in January feels like something that happened last month. It is currently working in your favor. Things are being worked out for you, but it's truly going to happen whenever it's time for it to happen. I don't think that you are quite meant to know the expiration date, the time when this will occur, when this will happen, when it'll change, whatever timing that it is that you're looking for. I don't think that you're going to get the exact answer from anyone, even yourself, on when it's going to happen, but I do feel like it started to turn in a direction of happening in January, and it's still currently going through whatever it needs to go through. You can usually see things like this happen when it's almost like a lot of different things need to take place in order for something to come together. So for you, it might be as simple as, hey, when am I going to get a new car? But for spirit, for universe, for God, source, energy, whatever you call it, it might be a little bit more complex than just getting you a new car. It might be, well, how do we get Pisces a new job, making more money? Because if they got a new car, they would drown in their bills in 6 months, because what they don't see coming is that, they break their leg and they have a ton of medical expenses and they're out of work. And so we need to plan properly to get Pisces the new car by making sure all these other things are done and in line first. And so there's a lot of things working in motion that you usually don't know are actually happening, but it doesn't mean it's not happening in your favor. It just means you have to wait. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into the actual tarot, Pisces. I hope that timing kind of helped there. What do we want to use? Let's do, I almost feel like we should do these ones. Let me get comfortable. What messages do we have for Pisces from now until the last fourth week of March? What do we have for Pisces from now until the fourth week of March? Show me Pisces from now until the fourth week of March. If you hear the chains rattling in the back, that's my dog scratching at her collar, and all her little keychain things that are on there are moving with her. What does Pisces need to know from now until the fourth week of March? We have the Divine. Haven't pulled that card in a while, Pisces. Ooh. Divine, Father of Swords, Four of Wands. Let's get two more. They're showing me 5 cards, so I want to go ahead and get 2 more for you here. What else does Pisces need to know? Oh, and they literally threw 2 of them at me, but they threw them so hard they fell on the floor. Hold on. Okay. We have 7 of Swords, 7 of Wands. Interesting. 7-7. 7-7 coming in for the landing. All right, Pisces. Let's go through these energetically and see what's going on. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor. And on the top of the deck, we have 7 of Cups. Okay. The Divine, I love this deck of cards because it does have a little extras in there for me. And so the Divine is an extra card added to this deck. As you can see, it is card 22, where the normal deck ends with 21. Pisces, I feel like I need to give you a close-up of these decks or these cards because I feel like there's more symbolism that they want me to point out more than anything here. So if we are looking at this, see if I can get it in a good focus area. Let me see if I can help this out a little bit. Oh, that's better. Okay. So if we look at the divine, this card symbolizes the ultimate connection to source energy, to God, to universe. This is a card where the messages quite freely flow through you. You are beyond connected. You are living in the connection. Excuse me. Or I said, bless me, I guess. Usually when I pull this card, what it means for me is that you are living in your true essence. You are living in every way you're meant to live. You're on the right path. You're doing the right thing. Spirit is talking through you. This is like the high priestess mixed with the empress, mixed with judgment. This is accurately deciphering messages, having transformation and growth, communication. You are truly being a vessel for divine energy to work through, to talk through, to be a part of. Very powerful card. And it is your first card out, Pisces. Okay? So I do feel like with this card being the first card out, it's kind of reminding me of the time messages that we just grabbed, where you might be concerned about the timing of something or how something will work out. And this is letting you know you are literally working in pure divine energy. There's no need for you to worry, guess, or stress about how something is working out because you are a part of that divine flow. You're a part of the divine timing for this to take place. Spirit is literally working through you. They're not working around you. They're not working to you, at you, with you. They are working through you. You are a part of the reason things are moving in the motion they are, but it's because Pisces, I think that you may, it doesn't feel negative like karma and contracts, but I feel like they're working through you by putting you in very specific places, by being connected to very specific people, very specific timing here. And it's all to help you in the long run, but I feel like you might have to detour off of the path that you're choosing to take because you are a part of other people's experience that you need to almost come into their life and help them, help them experience something they need to experience for their own path. So it's kind of like contracts, but it doesn't feel like you're tied to these people. It doesn't feel like contractually, soul-wise, I am tied to this person. It feels like divine is like, hey, this is a pure open vessel for us to work through, and they're willing to do it. Let's guide Pisces in the places we need to guide them to trigger the things that we need to trigger for other purposes and other cause. With the Father of Swords, it feels like a lot of that purpose, a lot of that guidance, it comes down to your ability to communicate emotions in a very clear, precise way. Okay? I feel like the way that you show up with people, you being a very emotional water sign in general helps, but this feels like someone who's able to speak to someone else and effectively communicate emotions that other people probably cannot comprehend or communicate on their own, even when it's their own emotion. So you're giving them clarity. You're giving them, I wanted to say peace. You're helping them understand themselves in a very deep, logical, analytical way, even though you're approaching it in a very emotional and functional kind of way. With the Four of Wands, the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Wands, this feels very much like people who I think have a very difficult time owning their truth. I think this is people who have a hard time showing up authentically and communicating what they want, what they appreciate. I feel like these are people who might do things behind other people's back. This would be that married man or woman that's cheating on their spouse behind that person's back. But they don't want to admit that because they truly love their spouse and they want to be with their spouse, but for some reason they're cheating on them. It's like meeting people like this and then having a conversation with them that helps them understand why they cheat. Is it because they're unfulfilled in their marriage? Is it because they have these hidden desires? Is it because they're feeling alone? It's like you're giving these people clarity and peace with things that really trouble them, with things that are very confusing to them. I feel like you're going to run into these people and you may not even realize what impact you're having on them, Pisces, but it feels like it's a simple conversation and you're giving wisdom, you're giving knowledge. Divine is speaking through you to this person and giving them exactly what they need to hear. And that's quite literally helping them resolve and figure out their issues. So Pisces, this is very beautiful. I feel like this chapter in your life right now, from now until that 4th week of March and possibly later, I'm going to say it doesn't feel like it's about you. It feels like it's about all these other people that you're coming into contact with, and without even knowing it, you're guiding them through their challenges. You're helping them transform. And just because it's not about you right now doesn't mean there's not blessings in this for you, because I think there are. But I think that's why we got the divine timing card coming out, because I think the things that you want and the things that you need, it's almost like you have to go through this chapter of communicating and helping and transforming these other people before you can truly get to the ending that you want. And even then, it's not an ending because there's always more to come. So Pisces, I feel like you may feel like things aren't necessarily going your way, like they're not speeding up the way you want them to, they're not going in the direction you want them to, but it's because right now you're acting as a servant. Divine is working through you to help a mission, to help transform and heal other people, to give them clarity, peace, understanding of themselves so that they can also transform. So it's a pretty integritous and beautiful thing when divine is willing to work through you, because not everyone gets that opportunity where divine picks them and is like, hey, this is someone that we can work through, that we can quite literally touch other people by using this person's energy. So even though it's not about you right now, it is about you in an odd way. So Pisces, this is extremely transformational. This is a lot of like hidden guided power that's coming through you in a very beautiful kind of way. Pisces, that's everything I had for you. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next sign. If this resonated and you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys the 4th week of March. Thanks. Let's go ahead and move into Cancer. Cancer, we are going to start off with timing messages for you as well. We did the same for Pisces. So let's see what time cards come out for you and what that timing could mean. Typically, if you are waiting on something, trying to see when something will happen, when it's coming in, this is a good way to know. It might help. Okay. So let's see, what kind of timing does Cancer need to be aware of from now until the 4th week of March? What kind of timing does Cancer need to know from now until the 4th week of March? Sooner than expected is coming out first. Show me timing for Cancer from now until the 4th week of March. Oops. We have not likely, and divine timing, and don't wait around. These two are going to go together. Okay. All right. So I think you guys are all trying to guess on things that are very different from each other, because these are a little contradicting. For the sooner than expected, I feel like you are going to get your answer sooner than you realize. You may feel like you're going to have to wait a long time, or it's going to be a long time before it happens. So Cancer, you might be expecting to be waiting a long time to get your answer or to get an outcome here, but it's kind of indicating that you won't have to wait as long as you think you might have to wait. But at the same time, we have this not likely and don't wait around. So this makes me feel like even though you're getting your answer sooner than you realized you were getting it, I want to say the not likely is that whatever you're waiting on or wanting to go in your favor, it's not necessarily going in your favor. I think that you might be kind of wishing on hopes and dreams a little bit. And that's kind of why Spirit's saying, hey, don't wait around and in divine timing, because even though it's not happening now, or it may not happen now, doesn't mean it won't happen at all. It just means now is not the right time. So there might be something you're waiting around for, but it's just not the right time for whatever that is to come in. I think you're going to get your answer sooner than you realize, probably before March even comes. You'll be able to have an answer for that, but just don't expect it to be quite the answer you're exactly wanting. But that doesn't cancel it out, just not the right time. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into your tarot messages here. So first up, let's go ahead and use this deck. What does Cancer need to know from now until March 4th? Or not March 4th, 4th week of March, I should say. I might change these out because I'm having a hard time shuffling them. Let's do these ones. You know what? We're actually going to do these. Sorry, Cancer. What does Cancer need to know until now, until the 4th week of March? Does Cancer need to know? Does Cancer need to know from now until 4th week of March? All right. Messages for Cancer. Okay, we have 4 of Pentacles. Messages for Cancer here. Show me messages for Cancer. Okay, we have the Fool and the Empress. They're saying 4. Let's get one more. Let's get one more here for Cancer. Oops. They've given us 2. These are really, really nice cards, Cancer. Like, really nice cards. Okay. Okay. Let's explore them. So first up, we have the 4 of Pentacles. This definitely feels like Cancer. The first energy I immediately get off of that, I feel like a very homey, welcoming, like comforting energy that we're kind of holding on to. So I think we might be trying to hold on to things that comfort us, things that are very familiar to us, that it's almost like it gives me the energy of like what do they call it? Comfort food. Like the mashed potatoes, the mac and cheese, the chicken, the pie. It's like comfort foods. But it feels like I'm really trying to hold on to those because they feel good to me. They feel warm. They feel safe. They feel secure. And I think that's an energy that you're really trying to make sure you don't lose. But I feel like it might be time to kind of, you don't have to lose it, but it feels like it's time to maybe let go of things that are comfortable and familiar and kind of break out of that energy a little bit. I don't think that it means everything has to drastically change and become fearful and unstable and scary, but it does feel like there's a need to kind of break away from some of those things that we hold on to that bring us comfort, security, warmth, things like this. And with that Fool card, that just kind of further pushes that point forward. It's time to kind of go on some new adventures, discover some new things. Cancer, I think that you've successfully completed an entire cycle here, and now we're finally at a place where we actually can jump into the Fool energy, which is having a new bright outlook on the future, experiencing something very different that we normally would not experience. But in order to do that, we have to loosen our grip on like what we find familiar and comfortable a little bit. We have to release some of the safety that we are seeking in order to take some of that risk that's going to bring in a new reality, a new experience for us. And that new experience holds a lot of abundance. So even though it's a little scary to like go from here to here and start to experience it, it's ultimately going to take you down this path of a lot of abundance, a lot of freedom, a lot of expression, a lot of that mothering nurture energy coming in a different way that's different from the Four of Pentacles. Because I get the same energy from these two, but they express it in a very different way. So the Four of Pentacles expresses that nurturing, loving energy in a very stable, like, let me cuddle you, let me snuggle you, let me keep you safe, let me give you security, that kind of way. Okay. This one, the Empress, expresses it more in a not risky way, but a more free way where I find my stability and comfort internally rather than externally. I find that motherly, nurturing, and loving energy, that growth energy externally or internally rather than externally. Okay. So she, no matter what's going on around her, she always feels that energy because so it's very much the internal versus the external expression. So the cycle that you just completed, it might have exposed you or given you a realization of how many external things you find comfort in and security in, where we really need to transform that energy and find it internally so that we can welcome in and bring in a lot of new external experiences around us. And those experiences create a lot of happiness, a lot of joy, a lot of peace, a lot of good positive energy with this, but it feels like I have the freedom and I have the fearlessness to go after and experience things that truly make me happy and feel good. And because of this, I'm finding ways that emotionally fulfill me with myself and other people in a very cohesive way. So we might have had a really hard time showing up and finding those things that make us very happy that also allowed us to be cohesive with other people's happiness. We might have always felt like it was either one or the other. It was either my happiness or their happiness. And now it's trying to show you there is a way where we can be abundant, we can be loving, we can be growth, we can hold that nurturing, loving energy and still experience our happiness and have it be cohesive with other people's happiness as well, where everyone is emotionally fulfilled in the situation. There is no one or the other. It all comes together. And that's the new beginning that's kind of waiting for you. I feel like this actually comes more in April. This is more in March, and this is more in February. I think that we're right at that pinnacle point of having to kind of release grip on those things that we found comfortable in order to go more on a little bit of a risk, a little bit of a ledge. But then we'll see that in March, when we do that, in March, we actually come into this beautiful Empress energy with a lot of abundance, a lot of things coming our way, a lot of happy, positive things that are moving towards us and around us in a very good way. Things that we can grow, things that we can nurture. So we're still using that loving Cancer, nurture, motherly energy, but we're using it in a different way. And then in April is when we start to see the benefits of what we're doing because now I'm happy and everyone else around me is happy. There is no I have to pick and choose. And I think that's that new beginning that's really coming in for you. So Cancer, this is a lot of positive energy that's coming in. If this resonated, please like and subscribe for more. Otherwise, I will see you guys the 4th week of March for your next mini monthly. Thanks. Let's go ahead and move into, last but not least, our Scorpios. Scorpio, same as the other two, we're going to pull some timing cards for you to start off the reading. And these timing cards can show you if you have a question about when something's happening. Okay, so if you had any questions about when something was coming in, changing, happening, ending, things like that, those timing cards are going to be able to help you figure that out. So let's go ahead and pull about 3 of those. Show me Scorpio and timing cards. What does Scorpio need to know about timing right now? What does Scorpio need to know with timing right now? Scorpio timing right now. Okay. We have next new moon, we have sooner than expected, and we have this month. I kind of want to know when the next new moon is, because I honestly don't know. So let me look that up for you guys really quick. Next new moon. So the next new moon is February 9th. The next new moon will occur Friday, February 9th. So the next one is probably in March. Let's see, new moon. Yeah, March 10th. So, a lot of things are indicating very, very short term here, Scorpio. So with the next new moon happening March 10th, sooner than expected, and then this month, which right now is February, but keep in mind that this reading goes from the 4th week of February until the 4th week of March. So I'm going to be getting you guys this reading at the very end of February going into March. So all of this would probably indicate to me something happening here in March. So whatever it is that you were questioning or you had thoughts on, you were wanting to know when it's going to happen, when it's going to change, transition, come in, whatever it is for you, I would pretty positively say it's coming in March. Very early March as well. Let's go ahead and jump into the actual tarot and see. And by the way, this was on the top, was in progress now. So definitely something coming in very soon for you, Scorpio. Let's go ahead and grab the tarot and see what is going on with that. I'm going to use this deck here. Show me, what does Scorpio need to know from now until the 4th week of March? What does Scorpio need to know from now until the 4th week of March? Okay. Let's see what's going on, Scorpio, in your energy. Scorpio. So these are interesting. So I'm going to say this as I'm pulling it because it's coming in for what it means. As soon as I seen the Two of Swords, I immediately felt like I was making a decision about like a relationship or a person, and then the Hierophant came out, which kind of solidified that. And then with that Eight of Swords, I feel like we're not making a decision because we feel really stuck. We don't feel like we have an option, a choice. I think that with the Two of Swords, we're having a really difficult time making this decision. So we choose not to make the decision, but the decision definitely feels like something to do with commitment, whether that's in a relationship or in a job. It does feel like some kind of serious or higher level commitment that's happening here. With that Eight of Swords, it's kind of letting you know, like, hey, you know you have to make this decision. And by you choosing to not make the decision, it just makes you stuck in other places. It just holds you back. It makes you feel more unsure, uncertain. It doesn't help you. Like, it just gets worse the longer you wait to make a decision, because this is very clearly something that we already know and are aware of. We have to decide something here. We have to do something. But it's like with both of these, we don't want to do something because they're both blindfolded. So it's very much that energy of like, yeah, it's there, it's pressing, it's right in front of me. I know I need to address it. I need to do something about it. But I really don't want to. I really don't want to see the problem that's in front of me. I don't want to go through the process it takes to make the decision. I will say very faintly, some of you, this could be some kind of divorce and custody, something with kids, just because when I did see that Two of Swords, that is another flash of like download that kind of came in really fast there, was something with like divorce, kids, custody, court, something like this. But it's like not wanting to really face that, not really wanting to experience that or go through that. And so I choose to ignore it. I choose to pretend like it's not happening. I don't have to do anything about it. This is very much an energy of being very tied down, tied back, restricted, restrained. But it's all because you're choosing to not take the blindfold off. You're choosing to not look at something that's very much in your face, very much in front of you, very much blatant, but you're choosing to not address it. And then we have the Ace of Swords with the Magician. So I feel like this comes in April. This energy feels like April. All of this energy actually feels like March. And so we might be creeping in to this energy, but this all feels like March energy. And this all feels like April energy. With the Ace of Swords and the Magician, I do feel like there's going to come a point where we're like guided. I'm not going to say forced, but I do feel like we're guided and we go through experiences that allow us to confront this situation, that allow us to actually look at it. So it's like hearing a friend's experience with something similar, or having like this random epiphany moment of like a lot of confidence and courage. It feels like a very subtle but positive guidance, not like a heavy-handed one where it's like, oh, we're getting towers and everything's going downhill and you're going to get so angry that you have to take action. It doesn't feel that way. It feels like a very subtle positive influence comes in that helps us get that courage and confidence to make that decision, to look at the thing we don't want to look at, to confront those things that we don't really want to confront. And what happens from that is positivity, because that Ace of Swords immediately is breaking free that Eight of Swords energy. So as soon as we move in a direction of choosing to confront it, we immediately make a very solid decision that we feel good about, and that starts to create a new outcome for us. It starts to immediately change the entire experience that we've been having up to that point. Again, we have to kind of wait to get into that energy, because in April, it feels like there's something influential helping us get to that point to make that decision. But just know, as soon as you do make that decision, it immediately creates an outcome. It immediately creates a change. There's something very like immediate that happens here. And we are very clear, very decisive. So if we're not feeling that clarity now, that's totally fine. It's going to come in April. We will be very, very sure about our decision, about what we need to do, how we're going to move forward, and how we feel about things. And that's the beautiful thing with that Ace of Swords. Excuse me. So let's pull just a couple more really quick. I wanted to show you this before I shuffle. We have the Fool on the bottom, and on the top we have Ten of Pentacles. So if you're worried about jeopardizing some kind of Ten of Pentacles situation, I don't feel like you need to worry about that, because what does come in for us is that Fool energy. And that Fool energy is pretty much just saying, hey, we're going to be taking a little bit of a risk. It's going to be a little bit of a new adventure, but we're free and unbounded from anything that's going to hold us back. And that's literally what these two cards are. Is things that hold us back, things that bound us. Don't let us move on. And we're liberating ourselves from that, okay? That seems to be a theme with the water signs for this month, the end of February going into the end of March, is some kind of liberation, but also the ability to have freedom, the ability to be in that full energy, to try something new, to start something new, to experience something new, okay? I just want to get a really quick pull on the Hierophant to understand a little bit more what exactly is the situation. It doesn't all feel family related, so I just want to get a little bit more clarity before we end it. Show me that Hierophant. So for each of you, the Hierophant is going to show up in a different way, but the common thread that it does hold, that Hierophant is something that's really weighing on your abundance. It's preventing you from being abundant. And I feel like it's something that comes in and it almost makes you feel and think there's going to be a lot of abundance. There's going to be a lot of growth. There's going to be a lot of like positive things coming from it. And then suddenly there's nothing and we're waiting. And it's trying to let you know that, hey, that abundance that keeps getting promised to you, it's false. It's not real. And it comes in and it feels good while it's there, and then it disappears just as fast. And that's not something that's very reliable. So whether that is the relationship or a job where it almost feels like you're being strung along, you're always being attached to a string, you're going through challenges and difficulties, something comes in, and it's like, hey, don't worry, we're going to give you abundance, we're going to give you support, we're going to give you help. I'm coming in this Empress energy, ready to grow and invest. And just as quickly as it comes in, though, it leaves, and then you're kind of left waiting for all those things that were promised to actually come to fruition. And so I think the difficulty is figuring out, do I totally cut this off or do I stay with it? And if you stay with it, I do see this Eight of Swords energy. We constantly get stuck. We're always stuck in the situation. We're always stuck with it. It prevents us from moving on completely here. Okay. Cancer, Scorpio, that is everything that I had for you. If this resonated, please like and subscribe. I will give you another reading at the end of March, the 4th week specifically, and we'll look at that energy from March moving into April. Otherwise, you guys have a great rest of your month, and I will see you soon. Bye.